Good afternoon all. My name is Khalid Salmi. I'm working as an expert in energy management or sustainable energy management at the Regional Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency. First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude and thanks to all the organizers for involving us and having us present today to share also our insights about the interrelation and nexus between the energy and water from an Arab perspective, or from, yes, we'll share insights about the challenges, opportunities, potentials in the Arab region. First of all, I will give you a brief idea about the role of the center in the region and how we interact with all the water stakeholders all over the world and also in the region. So the Regional Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency is an intergovernmental organization working to promote renewable energy and energy efficiency practices across the Arab region. We have so far 17 member states from the North Africa, Middle East and Gulf countries, and we work closely with the Arab governments in order to promote all the policies, strategies, laws, regulations related to the sustainable energy across the Arab countries. So our vision is to be the strategic partner of all the governments for prosper future to all the Arab population when it comes to energy security and energy access. So we are based in Egypt, in Cairo, but our staff members are diversified from different technical disciplines and also from different nationalities from all the Arab countries. Also, we act as technical arm of the League of Arab States when it comes to all energy matters. So our working portfolio is diversified, going from the policy reforms, standards and certification, environment and climate change issues, knowledge management, which is about gathering data related to energy progress in the region. Also, we work to bridge the gap between the public and the private sectors when it comes, for example, to all the investments related to energy. And also we work to promote some innovative financial models, also to help the countries to have access to all the green funds and green financing mechanisms toward developing the energy and water sector in the region. Besides some social dimensions, for example, like the women empowerment in the energy sector and also the social inclusion of youth people. Just to give you a general overview of the Arab region. So the Arab region is or include 22 countries, as I said, from North Africa, Middle East, Gulf countries, almost 456 million inhabitants, which is almost 6% of the worldwide population is located in the Arab region. Almost 55% of the oil reserves are located in the Arab region, with also almost 25% of the gas reserve are also located in the Arab region. 60% almost of this population are living in urban areas, while the average of urbanization is growing about 1% each year. There is a big demand of electricity in the region. There is a big also demand of water. We have some challenges related to energy access, water access, and we are trying, as I said, with the government to find some innovative solutions, of course, in coordination with different stakeholders all over the world. I will start by the energy part, which is related to the energy security of different sectors in the region. In the Arab region, there are many or different countries who try to sustain their energy value chain and start announcing some renewable energy projects across the region. All over the region, we have more than 200 gigawatts of installed capacity announced and project announced actually, and different countries, for example, like Morocco, Algeria, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Emirates, Egypt, have performed some policy reforms in order to achieve this progress and achieve those announced targets from in the horizon of, for example, 2030. But across the region, we have different or aggressive targets announced, but what is actually achieved is still, yes, there is a big gap between what is announced and what is installed. So in total, what is installed actually is almost 24 gigawatts, from which almost the half is coming from hydro capacity or hydro energy, which is accounted as renewable energy as well, and which is coming from water resources as origin. Different policies are governing those models, and the models of the project announced actually to be achieved, from which we can identify, for example, the public and the official competitive bidding. For example, 16 countries are adopting this policy. Also, we have the second model, which is direct proposal submission, feed-in tariff. I think small number of countries who are actually adopting this model, net metering, and of course the EPC model, the engineering, procurement, construction model, which is adopted by more than 17 countries in the region. Now going back to the water issue, of course different studies are being conducted all over the world and specifically in the region, and this shows that almost in the horizon of 2030 there will be a very need or substantial need to raise the water access almost by 30%. So this map shows the annual renewable water as a cubic meter per person per year all over the world. And if we can notice in the Arab region, which is in the North Africa, so here in the North Africa and the Middle East, in the Gulf countries, there is a very shortage of water access, which is accounted at less than 500 cubic meter per person per year. If you also talk about the electricity or energy needs or energy security as well also, so the International Energy Agency, the International Energy Agency predicts that the global economy all over the world will need substantial efforts to afford the energy access to different sectors and to different parts of the world, which is at the level at least of 40% by the horizon of 2030. So actually in the world we have more than 1.4 billion people who don't have energy or electricity access so far. And also it's estimated that in 2030, 1.2 billion people will still have not access to electricity, especially, for example, in regions like the sub-Saharan Africa. By the way, in our organization, we have 17 member states. 9 from them are African countries, and 3 or 4 from them are located in the sub-Saharan Africa. So this region have real challenges regarding the water infrastructure, the energy infrastructure, and this is due to the lack of or the gap that we have identified between the private sector and also the public announced policies. Also, there is a big gap when it comes to technology. For example, technology providers are very needed in this region to provide some solutions that could afford electricity and water in this region, to also upgrade and develop the energy and water infrastructure for all those countries. So one of the very important aspects that we work on actually with different stakeholders is this dilemma between food, energy and water. And here I will stress more on the approach of the energy and water nexus. Of course, there is a very substantial relation between both sectors. Going, for example, from water to energy, 80% of renewable energy comes from hydropower. Also, water is needed for example, the solar power plants cooling, for PV panels, for example, cleaning and so on. Also, going from energy to water, so energy is, of course, needed to abstract, produce, distribute, and treat desalinated water. Energy is also needed to pump water for irrigation for the agriculture sector. So this approach is about enhancing the efficiency of the entire system rather than increasing the productivity of specific sectors, often at the expense of other sectors. So the studies also shows that the water sector use 4% of the global electricity produced mainly for abstraction. 40% of the 4 is used for abstraction, 25% for convenience, and 20% for treatment of wastewater. Also, energy consumption in the water sector is expected to double by the year of 2040 as a result of the increasing seawater and desalination. Specifically, for example, currently with the very impressive momentum, I assume that all of you heard about what is called the green hydrogen, or the hydrogen produced from green processes or green electricity through electrolysis of water. So most of the Arab countries announced very aggressive targets also to catch a share from the market of the green hydrogen. And for this green hydrogen, we need, of course, to desalinate the sea water in the region. So, which means we need additional renewable energy capacities, and also which means that we need additional water treatment and water desalination plants in the region. While most of the countries, like let's say the technology that could help the countries to afford those amount of water and electricity in order to produce the hydrogen from green processes. So this graph shows the electricity consumption in the water sector by process, for example, for the supply, distribution, desalination, reuse, wastewater treatment, and transfer. Mainly the challenge when we talk about the water energy nexus is about what we call the silo thinking, or what we assume that it is a gap of coordination among the different stakeholders in a given country, from which we have recommended to all countries to work on, or to bring more synergies between different sectors. For example, from the public sector, for example, the ministers of electricity, with energy, with agriculture, with water, with education as well, in order to plan and order to conceive a very tailored model to each country based on his economic orientation and based on also on his water and energy context. Talking also about the importance of renewable energy for the water sector. Here, we can say that some renewable energy technologies, like for example the PV and wind technologies, consume less water than other conventional technologies for electricity production and for energy production. For example, here we can see that this graph shows the life cycle for water withdrawals. Sorry. So we can see, for example, that plants working with, for example, based on coal, natural gas, nuclear, CSP, which is the concentrated solar power, consume more amounts of water than the PV, the photovoltaic energy, and also the wind, onshore, offshore energy, which are also kinds or types of renewable energy. So here we can say that the renewable energy is also a solution to reduce the amount of water consumed to produce energy and electricity. renewable energy could also boost the water security in different countries, like, for example, by improving the accessibility and affordability and safety of the water. Here is an example of the renewable energy interaction in the water supply chain. So renewable energy could help or boost the desalination industry, for example, also the water pumping for irrigation, as we said in the beginning, for water heating, for example, through solar water heaters, and also in the wastewater treatment. So I'm a bad user of this pointer, by the way, sorry. So the renewable energy could, yes, help and boost the water security across the whole value chain of water production. Here are some recommendations that we also use to give or to suggest to our governments in order to implement this water energy nexus approach. So the starting point could be that the energy system level should be analyzed and should be also studied in order to, in a practical way, to have outputs that can inform decision making. We need also to integrate water, land constraints into existing energy models, and also we need to break down the ministerial barriers to truly tap into the win-win opportunities between different actors inside a given country. Importance of data also, we need a clear data that could give us a clarity on technologies and costs, for example, the renewable-based desalination solutions. So we need a clear data about, for example, the amount of water that could be desalinated, the potential in the country, the cost, the technology maturity, and so on. Also, there are some limitations for analysis and tools, so data could also avail or give us insights about the availability, accessibility, comparability, scale, time series, and so on. And also resources, because, of course, we need to upscale the workforces that also will work for the success of such approach. The approach of the water energy nexus could also integrate the management, or should integrate the management and governance models across different sectors and scales. The nexus approach can support the transition to green economy, which aims to at resource use efficiency and greater policy coherence among different stakeholders in a given country. Also, there is a substantial need for innovative and affordable local actions to contribute to improve social, economic, and environmental benefits. We need also to integrate desalination models with renewable power, which is a unique opportunity to advance the implementation and use of renewable energy. Also, there are some good examples in the region who are dealing actually, or who are trying to boost and promote this approach. For example, there are different models in Morocco, which is called Sahara Wind Power Project. Also, some models for wastewater treatment in Jordan, solar desalination in Morocco and Tunisia, landfill gas to energy project in Lebanon. So those case studies demonstrate the potential and benefits to be unlocked if technology and innovation are fully harnessed within the water energy nexus. And this is a call also for the technology providers here in Korea, that there is a big potential in the region, in North Africa, in Middle East. So I think we could also coordinate our effort jointly here in those segments in order to identify what, for example, the Korean technology providers could offer to those countries in order to develop this model, which is the approach, or which is the nexus between the energy and water in those countries. The final remarks regarding the perspectives and some recommendations. So I think there is a need to encourage collaborative and focused applied research and development activities at the regional level in order to, by forming regional research teams and alliances to promote innovation and technology transfer. Also, there is a need to scale up, replicate, and fund the ongoing projects in order to, or related to the Nexus approach, including different sectorial projects. For example, the agricultural system, renewable energy, wastewater treatment, and reuse of water as well. Also, we need to support and provide incentives for strategic partnerships and cooperation between research centers and private sector institutions. There is also a very big need to build the capacities of the human workforces in order to ensure the success of the implementation of this approach. As we say, the Nexus is a kind of solution that could boost the energy security and the water security as well at the same time. So improved coordination across sectors is a part of the equation, but actions lies in detailed intelligence to support decision making. Accelerating also the energy transition and increase the share of renewable energy, in particular in the waste water, by reusing the water or desalination is also part of the game, if you can say. And finally, we need to consider the water hydrogen nexus from now, as it's a trendy area that requires deep research and development efforts, in particular for the Mediterranean countries and specifically the South Mediterranean countries, which are the Arab countries, the region from where I came. And thank you.